When you imagine a hacker, you often picture someone hovering over a keyboard in the comfort of their own home. But for Adrian Lamo, home didn't exist. His home was wherever he found himself that day. By day, he hacked at the library, local print shop, or coffee shop. By night, he slept on Greyhound buses, in abandoned buildings, or on friends' couches. He hated the title homeless hacker and criticized the media for the wordplay. But for most of his adult life, Adrian was a nomad. His impoverished circumstances masked a brilliant man. His ex-wife said he was wired differently. He saw things others didn't. He saw the security flaws on corporate websites and sought to patch them. He hacked not primarily because of his interest in technology, but because of his curiosity, which was evident in childhood. As a kid, he wanted to know the garbage pickup schedule at school so he could grab memos teachers had discarded to figure out what they were meeting about. By the time he was in high school, he had turned his attention from discarded paper to the digital world, using his laptop to uncover vulnerabilities on websites. He ended up getting expelled after a fight with his computer teacher. Adrian never actually considered himself a great hacker, but he was good enough to hack one of the largest internet providers in the early 2000s, MCI WorldCom. The company had set up temporary passwords for employees based on their social security numbers. Adrian Googled some employees, found their social security numbers online, and got inside the network. He said his hacking was driven by a pursuit to do what he thought was ethical. In 2001, when he was 20 years old, he hacked the internet service provider Excite at Home. He gained unauthorized access to unanswered help desk support requests and began providing assistance to users. He told CNET one customer in Canada was especially grateful. He was just happy that somebody got back to him, that somebody took the time to treat his concern like it was worth a damn. Adrian said, "I believe in a world where all these things can happen even if I have to do them all myself." Excite thanked Adrian for poking around, which helped it shore up its online security. But not all of his targets were so gracious. In 2002, Adrian slipped into a New York Times database containing the phone numbers and social security numbers of more than 3,000 contributors to the Times op-ed page, including that of former President Jimmy Carter. Adrian didn't steal, publicize, or use the information, but he certainly wanted to be recognized for it. He added an entry for Adrian Lamo to the Times database, listing his cell phone number as 415-505-HACK, and declaring his areas of expertise as computer hacking, national security, communications intelligence. He also accessed the Times LexisNexis account, an online subscription service for legal research, articles, and consumer information for a fee. He performed over 3,000 searches in a 3-month period, including looking for any mention of himself, and allegedly racked up $300,000 in fees. The Times pressed charges, and James Comey, then the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, likened it to someone kicking in your front door while you're on vacation and running up a $300,000 bill on your phone, and then telling you when you arrive home that he had performed a useful service by demonstrating that your deadbolt wasn't secure enough. Adrian pled guilty and was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest, where he lived at his parents' place in Sacramento. He was ordered to pay $60,000 in fines. His sentencing also took into account his breach of Microsoft when he discovered an unprotected page that served up customers' sales records and other confidential information without requiring authentication. Adrian's exploits made him a hero in the hacking community. However, it was an internet chat with an American soldier in Iraq in 2010 that truly catapulted him to fame. In 2010, Chelsea Manning, then known as Bradley Manning, contacted Adrian via instant message. "Hi, how are you? I'm an Army intelligence analyst deployed to Eastern Baghdad pending discharge for adjustment disorder. I'm sure you're pretty busy. If you had unprecedented access to classified networks 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8+ months, what would you do? Let's just say someone I know intimately well has been penetrating US classified networks, sorting the data, compressing it, encrypting it, and uploading it to a crazy white-haired Aussie who can't seem to stay in one country very long." The white-haired Aussie Manning was referring to was Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks. Manning admitted to leaking a classified video of a helicopter attack in Baghdad to WikiLeaks.
Light them all up. Come on, fire!
In which the U.S. military opened fire on a group they believed to be armed insurgents, but were instead journalists, including a Reuters photographer. Adrian said Manning also admitted to leaking hundreds of thousands of classified diplomatic cables. When Adrian pressed for more information, Manning admitted to passing the material onto WikiLeaks without closely examining it. Adrian was alarmed and later said, "I thought to myself, what if somebody dies because this information is leaked?" Adrian then told two people what Manning had done, according to the deposition of an investigating officer. He told a friend who had been in Army intelligence and his business partner, who left a message on the Army's Criminal Investigative Division tip line. In an interview with Al Jazeera, Adrian explained why he decided to turn Manning in.
I had to act for the good of the many. I took no joy in it.
Manning was quickly arrested and sentenced to 35 years in prison.
He did a brave yet stupid thing, and that he dishonored the oath that he took to his country.
Adrian thought he'd be celebrated as a hero and patriot after turning in Manning, but instead, he became the villain of the hacking world. At a hackers conference weeks later, he was booed on stage. When Mark Abene, who had been a high-profile hacker, said to him, "As soon as you make up your mind to choose a side, politically speaking, you cease to be a hacker. You had a choice, and you made the wrong choice. You could have simply walked away, and none of this would have happened." Adrian replied, "I could have, but I wouldn't have been able to live with myself." After serving 7 years in prison, President Obama commuted Manning's sentence in 2017.
I feel very comfortable that justice has been served and that a message has still been sent.
When NPR asked if Manning harbored any resentment towards Adrian, Manning said, "I have never had any ill will toward Adrian at any time. I'm more mad at the government for using him." Adrian was shunned by the hacking community and received death threats daily. He couldn't log on to any forum or platform online under his real name without someone attacking him. Although Adrian spent time working as a threat analyst for a private company, he struggled to support himself for the rest of his life. Some years, he earned less than $1,000 and lived on public assistance. He'd get into squabbles with supermarket managers for stacking multiple coupons on a single purchase to maximize savings. In his 30s, the parents of a friend took him in to live with them in Kansas. Adrian worked out of Debbie and Bill Scroggins' basement on what he called research, alluding to work with the dark web and ISIS. He tried to control his severe anxiety at the time by self-medicating. Debbie Scroggin revealed to NPR that he'd sometimes fall asleep face down in his food. Eventually, suspecting he was stealing medicine from them at night, Bill and Debbie asked him to leave. Adrian went to a nearby homeless shelter, and then Debbie found him an apartment in a senior living center in Wichita, Kansas, where anyone with low income could qualify. Shunned by his peers and living in poverty, his life ended tragically. On March 14, 2018, the building manager found Adrian's body. Paramedics arrived to find his apartment scattered with pills and powders. A wide variety of chemicals were detected in his bloodstream, but despite what was found in his body, the cause of Adrian's death was undetermined. What was found on his body was also a mystery. The medical examiner found a sticker on his left thigh that read, "Adrian Lamo, Assistant Director, Project Vigilant, 70 Bates Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. 70 Bates Street was the address of a friend Adrian had stayed with from time to time. NPR discovered Adrian and his business partner incorporated Project Vigilant in 2011. One of the directors of the company, former NSA official Ira Winkler, told NPR that Project Vigilant was intended to identify criminals using the dark web and report them to authorities. But the project never went anywhere. Much like Project Vigilant, Adrian Lamo's life story was one of unrealized potential. After his hacking exploits, Adrian believed that he'd get a job offer as a security consultant for a major corporation and was appalled when he didn't. When he passed away at the age of 37, only his father and a handful of people attended his memorial. Adrian's ashes were buried in a church in Colombia. He was born in Boston but spent his formative years near Bogota before emigrating back to America. When Adrian was asked what his proudest hacking moment was, he said, "It's the one that brought the most smiles to the faces of those inside the company as well as those reading about it." Therein lies another motivation for his hacking, to uncover the ironic and the absurd. Adrian Lamo used innovative approaches to hack into major systems. Although his story ended tragically, it's clear that innovation can also enhance our well-being. That brings me to Fume, an innovative device to break bad habits. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that contains no vapors or harmful chemicals. It produces no smoke or vapor. Instead, it contains all-natural, delicious flavors. I didn't really know what to expect when I got it, but this is really, really cool. It's slick, it's beautiful, made out of real wood, and it also comes with an adjustable airflow to customize your experience. Fume has helped over 150,000 people move away from destructive habits, a testament to how innovation can lead to healthier choices. You can join Fume and embrace change for the better by picking up the Journey Pack today. Visit tryfume.com/newsthink and apply the code Newsthink to get 10% off the Journey Pack today. My custom link is in the description. That's tryfum.com and use code Newsthink to save 10% off your order today. Or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Thanks for watching. For Newsthink, I'm Cindy Pom.